practices and procedures, and of course we rely so heavily on each of you to keep our patrons safe and make sure everybody knows what to do in the event that something bad happens. So thank you for coming. Let's go ahead. Let me introduce the committee just so you all know who's running all this, and we've been planning this for about a year. This has been a joint effort of event safety, event risk management, 24-hour security, event operations, and all of our emergency services personnel. So I'm going to turn it over to JT Klingenmeyer, who's going to talk to you a little bit about general safety and security, and we'll go through all those procedures, and then we'll get to the drill in the breakout session. So here's JT Klingenmeyer.
All right, thank you. What I want to talk to you guys about briefly is just basic safety and security awareness. Something we covered with the full-time staff, and now we want to give help part-time staff as well, is why we wear credentials, why we're doing bag checks, why we bought the magnetometers and have everybody walking through those, that kind of thing. So first off, one of the main things most important things you guys do is have your credential. We just ask that you wear it visible at all times. So if you have your credential on, you're not going to be stopped by staff. You know you're supposed to be here. When you go outside of the building, whether it's to take a break, have a cigarette, escort somebody to a car, do whatever it is that your jobs entail, we ask you to swipe back in at the ABI TMSS machines. The reason we're doing that is to make sure that you're valid, that you're a valid employee, you're scheduled to work, those sort of things. It's not just a time clock, it's also a security measure we use. Another thing we do is we have the magnetometers and the bag checks, and Tim Christensen will talk briefly about those as well. And what we're doing is we don't want anybody to bring in anything to work that they don't need to bring to work. Anything that's on our prohibited items list for our guests is also that for our employees as well. So kind of make sure you guys are familiar with those. Go over those. You don't need to bring pocket knives to work or box cutters to work. That should be in your concession stands, your warehouses. Any tool you need for work should be here at work. So kind of leave that stuff at home, leave that stuff in the car. Some other things, if you're approached by somebody and they're asking you questions and it seems odd, they're asking odd questions, they're asking, how do I get to here, how do I get to there, how do I get to the locker room, all that kind of stuff. Anything that would give you cause for pause, you should probably pause and think about that for a second. There's something that we show on the pregame stuff and signage that you guys see throughout the building that says, see something, say something. It means exactly that. If you see something, say something. If something seems out of order, it seems out of place. It just gives you that, raises the hair on the back of your neck. Doesn't seem right. Let your supervisor know. Let a police officer know, firefighter know, anybody that's around has a radio, somebody that's an authority. Let them know what's going on, give them a description of what's going on. Now we're going to give it over to Tim Christensen here. He's kind of oversaw this project of the magnetometers, did a lot of training on it. He's going to kind of talk to you about why we did it, what we're doing, and the end result.
Hello, everyone. So, how many people knew we were putting in walks and metal detectors this year? How many have heard good things about it? That's it? How many heard bad things about it? Okay, so moving forward, it's going to be positive, okay? So, I've been doing a lot of the trainings, I've been doing the trainings with artists, and it's definitely a process, it's a new change, but it's something that we're definitely very, very excited about, okay? We're the first professional sporting venue in Colorado to implement walk-through magnetometers. This is a new normal for what you'll be seeing in the years to come, okay? It's not going to be uncommon for you to go to any sporting venue, probably anywhere in the country, and not have to walk through a metal detector, okay? The one message that we've been trying to get out, though, to everyone is that we're not the airport. Customer service is still our paramount importance to us, so we want to make sure that we sell the message that this is a positive thing for our guests, it's a positive thing for our employees, the players, to the leagues, and it's something that we are really happy that we're actually going to be the ones that actually have that first test with it, and we get to run with it, and we get to be the place where people are going to come visit and say, wow, how did you guys get this to happen? Okay? So, do we have a video? Still no video? Okay. So basically what we want you to understand, since we're not the airport and we're not a government-run facility, we have settings on all the walks and metal detectors so that we're only looking for certain items. So there's certain times that you don't have to take off your shoes, you don't have to take off your belts, you don't have to take off the normal things that you would normally come into work with. So that's a good thing for us, and it's also a good thing for the fans, because once they get trained on how to go through the metal detectors, that's how they'll do it. I was fortunate enough to actually go to Cleveland, where they actually have the walk-through metal detectors in place, and once the fans are used to the security procedure, they're flying through the magnetometers no problem. So that's where we want to get to, okay? So any frustrations you may have had, or anything you're thinking about when you're walking through the employee entrance, just remember, it's for your safety, it's for the good of the building, it's for the good of everything that we're trying to portray as far as a venue goes. We want to be safe, we want our fans to be safe, and we want them to feel safe, okay? It's really about, if a fan doesn't feel safe when they come to an event, they're not going to want to come to the event. So this is just one more thing that we put in place at Pepsi Center, and we're very proud of it. That hopefully we're portraying that message of a positive, we want you to be safe, we're putting in measures that all of us can be proud of and all of us can be a part of. So moving forward, like JT said, we want to definitely make it so that we're not stopping you guys from doing your job, but at the same time, you're not bringing stuff to the building that doesn't need to be here. So the question you could ask me is it working? Okay, do I have any Argus managers? We had an entire box full of confiscated items last night. Knives, box cutters, all kinds of things that should not be coming into our building. We've had many accounts of people that have found out we have walk-through magnetometers and they've turned around and walked back out to their car because they were trying to bring something into the building that a year ago they would have been able to get in, and now they no longer can. So it is a success. Okay, so we're going to watch this quick video. Most of the Argus people have seen it. We wanted to show it for everybody so that all of you can understand exactly what it is we're trying to do with walk-through magnetometers. It might be a little loud in the beginning, but we'll adjust the sound.
Every day, millions of people attend sporting events, concerts and shows in large and small venues alike. And protecting our nation's public venues is of critical importance. What makes these venues also makes them both a physical and psychological target for terrorists and people hoping to do harm to the American way of life. Keeping these venues safe takes a team effort, and you play a very important role on the team. Security may vary.